Alright, so basically the purpose of this video is to demonstrate Juri's general neutral game plan, options, buttons, just things to do that aren't purely just combos and punishes and confirms and the usual things I show in my videos. I've been asked, well requested I should say, several times by YouTube comments, sometimes on Discord, sometimes on forums that could I do like a tutorial just showing how do you play her in neutral, how do you actually play her in a match, and that's the purpose of today's stream, because I'd rather stream something like this where I can actually talk and have like an informal explanation as opposed to the typical thing where I make a long video with like words and so on. I think this one is a bit more interesting because it's more interactive and you can ask questions and that kind of thing. I doubt I'm going to get many viewers for this, but if I do, great. If not, then I'm going to export this to YouTube and you can watch the whole thing there. Anyway, so Juri. Okay, so this character's obviously a lot better now than she was when the game first came out, that's for sure. When the game first came out in 2016, she came out July 2016, she was how do you say? She was interesting. Definitely worse than her USF4 variant. If you could say she's worse than she first started in Super Street Fighter 4, I don't know. But in general, Juri is so much better in Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition than when she first was introduced. She's a lot stronger. She's got a lot more options. She's got a lot more, just she hurts more. She does a lot better than she used to. Because trust me, playing as her, playing other people, fighting with her was really tough when the game first came out. So how do I play Juri? What do I press? What do I do? What are people doing? Well, if you've seen an infiltration, you've seen a lot of this, a lot of this, a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Is he on guard all? Oh, he's on playback recording. What's going on? Yeah, he's on guard all. So yeah, so you see a lot of that, and you back up and that. So what does this all mean? What is she doing? So Juri's, as I'm sure you know, if you don't know, Juri's game plan revolves around her three special moves. Because unlike some characters who they have, well, unlike most characters who have access to all their moves all at once, Juri has three unique special moves locked behind charges. And to do them, you do, let me turn on the input so you can see. Key display. To do them, you have to do a quarter circle with a button. So quarter circle light kick gives her access to that, what looks like a curve. It's a fireball, so you see how it corresponds to that. Don't worry, I'm not going to get into the weeds. Point is, she's got three of them, and if you have all three of them, they'll appear charged on screen. And they all have different functions. That is a fireball. It works like most fireballs in Street Fighter do, and I'm not going to insult your intelligence. You're probably not here to find that out. This one is a combo extender and also can be used for other stuff. And that one's a combo ender, and so on and so forth. So how do you just play Juri in the neutral? Well, her buttons themselves actually have pretty long range. Let's just start with normals. I mean, I did write a guide for this, so I'm not just talking nonsense for like an hour or however long I'm going to do this. Let's start with her normal buttons. So standing, like, let's say medium kick. Medium kick's one of the most useful ones. Medium kick from a distance. It's a safe move. It's a 5-frame move. From a distance, it's got pretty good range, right, and can hit people. And let's make him stop blocking. Let's put it on after first attack. So medium kick's pretty good. Does 70. Is that counter hit? Let's count. Counter's on. Yeah, there you go. Medium kick's really good. It does 60 damage at range. Up close, it does 70 damage for both hits. And why this is good is because it's a good poke just for keeping people guessing and, you know. And crouch medium kick is an actual low. Not much damage, 50 damage, but is actually confirmable. So basically, if you're thinking, how do I play Juri? Where do I start? What do I do? Well, let me show you. So to begin with, let's say a match has started and you're playing someone, and let's just focus only on medium kick. I'm walking back and forth, right? I'm about this range, I press medium kick. See how it hits them right there? That's a really far range. Some characters don't even have. That hits them right there. So that just keeps them at bay, right? Now, as they walk back and forth in the neutral, right, you want to press crouch medium kick, because that leads to different things. What's good about the crouch medium kick is it's actually confirmable into many things. It doesn't go into some of her high damage and stuff, but it goes into a lot of stuff, which makes it really good. So for example, You do crouch medium kick into the spin, and you've seen probably infiltration other players do this. So crouch medium kick into the spin, I suck, sorry, into LP Tensenrin, which is forward, then down forward, light punch. That is her light punch Tensenrin move. It's a very decent move. It's got decent range, and will confirm fairly easily off the crouch medium kick. So I suck, sorry. So you'll want to do that, basically, as your general confirm. That's not ignoring her Fua stores and all that kind of stuff. And standing medium kick is her poke, just keep people at bay. And it's pretty safe to do this. The only thing you have to worry about is obviously getting whiff punish, but that's with every button. Crouch medium kick is also very good for throwing out that, her EX Fu Harenkiku, which is her EX version of her kicks, which is quarter circle forward and EX. I use 3 buttons. I use the option select, but you can use 2 buttons, obviously. And so look at the range of this. So you can do it from there and catch an EX and you get a soft knockdown, which is good. So in general, her medium kick, far range poke, low poke can be confirmed into that, also into her heavy kick Fua, like that. Okay, except I suck, I'm doing it too soon. Similarly, one thing you'll see other players do is you want to create space with the fireball. So check this out. So let's say I'm doing pressure, right, which I'll explain more in a bit, and then I do crouch medium kick and I cancel into the fireball. So the idea behind that is to cancel the crouch medium kick on hit or block into the fireball, except that's happening to me because I'm pressing it too fast. So like that, and it is actually confirmable on hit. Unfortunately, depending on the spacing, you might not get the full thing. So if you're at like the maximum range, yeah, at the maximum range it doesn't confirm on hit, but if you're like point blank, it does. It doesn't really do anything, except it gives you some advantage, but the idea is to just create space and just create a game where you basically bait your opponents into either jumping or overextending. And remember, what's good is this medium kick, right? It hits them really far. If they're close, you get the both hits, you get 70, and that's really good. So even if you don't want to worry too much about a lot of her big moves and her combos and all that crazy stuff, which we will get into, for the moment, just think about medium kick from range, right? Crouch medium kick, like that kind of thing. Like there's really all these different layers to Juri's game plan. You probably heard that word layers before, probably noisy, but she does have layers. So medium kick, really strong. Similar, so then there's crouch medium punch. Now crouch medium punch is not a low, it's a high. That is, it doesn't hit low, the opponent can block it by standing. Not that you should probably block it low anyway, otherwise you get hit by the low. And her medium punch is very strong because it goes into a lot of things. Whereas the medium kick is only good for confirms into, you know, EX or her Fuas. Her medium punch goes into a lot of things. So her medium punch has some decent range, right? It's safe on block, it's a 0 on block, plus 2 on hit, which you can't do much with. But what makes her medium punch good is this is also, it can be either a defensive poke, so either you're walking, you do that, or an offensive poke like that. And what's good is it's harder to confirm than the medium punch, but what's good is it goes into a lot of things. So whereas medium kick only really goes into, oops, too far, into that, medium punch goes into her flips, except for her heavy one. So it goes into her light flip, her light Ryodan Satsu, which is quarter circle back and light kick, and her medium one too. And that's very good for knockdown. So from a decent range you can do, oh, excuse me? Whoa. From a decent range you can do crouch medium punch. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so let's try it again. From there we go. Yeesh. I don't know why she's going nuts. From a decent range, you can do crouch medium punch into MK Ryodan Satsu for the knockdown, and that's actually a whiff punish that can be used on a lot of characters if you can catch it. And obviously, like her medium kicking can go into fireball. In fact, it actually combos better from range, like that. Do you see what I mean? Whereas the medium kick from its maximum range is harder to confirm to fireball, the hit stun of crouch medium punch is better, so you will almost always get the hit, and that's really good. And her medium punch goes into EX and so on and so forth. So her medium punch, that's kind of like, it's not an offensive poke so much as it is just a way to whiff, punish, and confirm. You see it a lot in combos. So you know the combo you see a lot, which is that, like, because that is how you get the knockdown. So into Ryo Dansatsu, right? You can't do that with medium kick because with medium kick it doesn't have enough hit stun to even do the light one. You see what I mean? The hit stun of medium kick is non-existent, unfortunately, so you can't do it into anything. So the medium punch is good in that regard. So you do walk forward, walk backwards, and then you confirm into whatever you want. Same with low, but that's the low. And what's good about that is it hits really far, so you can just, if you see the hit happen, then you can confirm into whatever you want. Same with that, but the difference is with medium punch, you get access to her flips, which is very useful. You can also do the LP Tensenrin if you really, that was standing, if you really want. Except it's good and it works just as well. But remember, with medium punch, you have access to that. That's knockdown. That's better. Think of it this way. This is when if you do that, you keep him standing. If you do that, you knock him down. It really depends on what you want, and so on. So the medium punch is quite strong because it has some decent reach. The thing is, the reach of medium punch and medium kick are roughly the same. I'd say roughly, not complete. I think medium kick is ever so slightly longer. So here I'm not hitting. Medium punch isn't hitting. Medium kick did. So medium kick has slightly more range, ever so slightly. So that's your low poke can be confirmed into whatever, and it works out like that. Okay, so that covers that. Now, so her buttons overall do different things. Her standing jab is 3 frames, so is her crouching light kick. This is more of a, a pressure tool. It doesn't combo into too much, so the best you can do with crouching light kick is just pressure, because it's also a low, very low damaging low, but you can confirm it into that. So a safe pressure string is crouch light kick, crouch light punch. And you can confirm that into whatever you want. So let's say in the neutral, right, you're doing that to poke their legs, right? And then let's say you're here, and they're expecting maybe a throw or something like that. You go in low and do that, and you get like a little 2-hit, and then you can confirm that to different things. So, okay, it's standing. There you go. So you can do crouch light punch. Crouch light kick, crouch light punch into LP Tensenrin, which is okay damage, and you can also do it into EX Fu if you want, which is quite good. So one neat trick you can do, let's say you knock him down, right? And then you could do that as a meaty, right? As a not on their wake up. Because let's say they're not blocking low, maybe they're holding back or whatever, and then you go low like that. I should mention that light kick doesn't have that many active frames, so it's not exactly the best meaty. And meaties, that's a whole different topic entirely. So we're trying to just cover the basics here for now, so you don't worry about meaties. But if you knock him down, you can do like that. It's like a very fast low you can confirm into whatever you want. And similarly, you have tricks like, empty jump low into that, you know what I mean? Or, okay, that was bad rage. Or, the thing is, something you see me do in my matches a lot is that, the empty jump low into medium kick. Because obviously, people are trying to block the medium kick cross-up, right? But then the cross-up doesn't come, and then you just press medium kick low into EX, and that's safe, that's -2. So that's that. Crouch light punch, there's not much to say about other than it's okay, that hits high. It has okay damage. It's usually used as a 4-frame punish because that's 4 frames. So there's really not much you can do with it other than just poke. And same thing. Light punch is just kind of like your jab. It's the get off me. It's the pressure string, that kind of thing. What's very important is this, light kick. See, light kick is 4 frames, active for 4, confirmable into quite a few things. So check this out. Pretty decent range, hits about there, right? You can do a lot with it. It's cancelable into every special, so you can cancel into that. It doesn't combo that strongly into, say, her fireball, but it can cancel into her heavy kick, fu, or renkaku. So you can do, like that, or you can do, which is very good for 4-frame punish. So if someone whiffs something, right, and you're about that range, you can get them. Or if they do a move that's -4, usually the punish you want is stand light kick into that. Because the thing is, sometimes you can do that, which is light punch, light kick, which is a combo. That is actually a real combo. But sometimes the pushback's too much, or sometimes it's harder to react to. So let's say you do that. So you see what I mean? Like it pushes them too far back. Whereas sometimes you're just better off just doing light kick, LP 10 center, and just keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? So light kick is quite good, and it's safe too. It's safe on block, so you'll be fine. So that's another good confirm if you want to catch people in the neutral. So in review so far, the medium punch, right, confirmable into Ryodan Satsun's a good poke, but it hits high. Medium kick hits low. Then light kick, right, is a high hit, but is safe. In fact, what's good about it is it actually is a counter hit setup. So if I can set this up, set guard recovery. I'm pretty sure I have guard recovery options already. I'm pretty sure I do. Oh, he's not guarding all. Hold on. Guard all. Yep, 3 frame jab. Okay, so check this out. So that doesn't work because that's so he's reacting with a jab. Ah, right. So what was I gonna say? The it only works as a frame trap as a meaty, but it's good because so it's safe, right? That gives us an idea. But I guess it's better to show it the other way. So medium punch, this has next to no range, like at all. Like look at that. But what's good about medium punch, as opposed to crouch medium punch, is it leads to a lot of decent combos. So it basically goes into a lot of her stuff. So her charges like that, you know, her free restores like that, and it leads into her medium kick chain, which is very useful. So stand medium punch, stand medium kick, which is a natural combo and a frame trap. So you see how he's pressing jab on block. It will frame trap like that. So you see sometimes people online will do stuff like, well, people online and in tournaments will do stuff like that where they'll do the medium kick and they'll buffer the flip kick at the end. So, oh yeah, so that's what's good. So basically, with medium punch, this is kind of her poke tool, her harassment tool. And what's good is you can do stuff like this. So there's 2 different routes. You can do stand medium punch into medium kick, and depending on what the person pressed, the medium kick will hit them, right? Because the medium kick, she goes low. She doesn't low profile as such. She used to low profile, but because her hip, you see how she kind of reels backwards or puts the foot out like that, so you're able to catch people. So if you are good enough, you can confirm into something. So let's say medium punch, like that. You see what I'm saying? And you can confirm into whatever. And let's say you're really good. It's nope, I'm not good. Sorry, guys. Oh, I know what's going on. It's because I'm trying to do the input really soon. There we go. So like that, you can do medium punch, medium kick, spin, confirm into super. So you can do stuff like that. So the medium punch it's also her combo thing. So let's set back to after first attack. I've seen from all my tutorials, obviously medium punch leads into forward heavy punch, which is her target combo, and obviously that launches them. That's not really confirmable. It's not a hit confirmable thing. You have to commit to it. Like you can't do medium punch and then do fierce at the end. Like you have to commit to the whole thing, so it's not something you can just do. So you get the idea. And another thing that's quite good is, let's see, still on the topic of light kick, is, oh, do you see that? Aha, yeah. So this is a bit of a weird one because it's not really a frame trap as such. Because back heavy kick, right, is safe. It's -2, but it has some pushback, which makes it harder to punish. And depending on the length of your opponent's limb, like Ryu's standing jab, obviously not that far, but some crouching, like light kicks can probably hit you. So let's not really give this as gospel truth. So let's say on certain characters, if you establish they have stubby limbs, at least for their light punishes, their 3-frame punishes, you can do stuff like this. Okay, if it works, sorry. Like that, where you do the back heavy kick, right, into, which is -2. It's not a real frame trap though, not really, because obviously it's -2. It's not plus. But that's just a neat little trick. So anyway, the light kick is good because it's you can confirm it into whatever, and it's actually it's another frame trap. Basically, anything after stand medium punch. Stand medium punch is her only +2 move on block, which is annoying because it's very short range. Look at that! I'm practically hitting Ryu's elbow, but it doesn't count. So it has to be about there. So that's her one plus move, really, that you want to do, other than stand light punch, which is also +2, but you don't get as much from it. And it's not a frame trap, obviously, because you don't get much from that, but medium punch is good for a variety of reasons, because the pushback plus the fact that it's +2 means you can do a lot of things. Like that kind of thing. So let's say in a general game plan, right, you're about this distance, right? You want to do crouch medium kick as the low poke. You want to do crouch medium punch if you're advancing. You want to, whiff punish. You want to catch or confirm. I don't know why she keeps doing that. You want to do crouch medium punch if you want to whiff punish something, right? You do standing medium punch as her plus tool. So you do standing medium punch, back off, well, forward grab, shimmy, that kind of thing. So standing medium punch, back off. You know what I mean? And because it's safe, you're fine. And then, into that because it pushes her back, so you get the light kick, that's a frame trap. Same with this. Stand medium punch into medium kick. And if you're ready for it, you can buffer into the knockdown. Or buffer into that. And obviously they made her medium kick buffer much longer. It used to be much shorter. Now you have a much longer time. So interesting thing is, her medium kick apparently is -7? Or not, -4. But you'd be hard-pressed to find a character who can punish it correctly, especially because of the pushback. And that's something about SF5 in general. Because of pushback, spacing and stuff in general, like, look, like that's a -4 move, excuse me, but I don't know, you'd have to actually physically go into the lab with a character to find a character who can punish that on block. Because that's not a safe move, it's more of a footsie get-back move. So in the neutral, with Juri's buttons overall, you're looking at crouch medium punch, confirmable into different things, crouch medium kick, confirmable into spins, into her LP10 Senrin, right? That's her pressure tool, because it's safe and it's plus, right? That's also a pressure tool, but obviously you don't get much off of it. Low, hits low, and looking for frame traps and so on. So in general, with Juri, if we're talking about just her buttons alone, it's about safe, long-range pokes, which aren't plus, but they create space for you. You create space with the different buttons, and you just go low. Right? You see him coming forward, you hit him with that, or you do that, or you go in and you do that. You see what I mean? Like, she is able to create space with her buttons. What you do with that space is up to you. And then if the opponent jumps afterwards, and then you go from there. So that's just looking at her buttons, her core buttons. Then you have obviously her sweep, which is decent range, not the most range, but okay range, right? That's her sweep. Back heavy kick, which is safe, and that's confirmable to a lot of stuff. See, this is one of my favorite moves because it actually has deceptive range. So you see, the first hit has a very short hitbox, but the second hit, the hitbox is at the end of her heel. So you see where her heel connects with him, and that's actually confirmable into whatever. That actually is confirmable into a lot of different things. You see what I mean? Actually has a lot of hits done. It may not look like it, but that last hit actually has a ton of hits done. So there's situations where, depending on how you play, for example how I play, sometimes I'll sit about here and then just do that, where you see me just let it rip. Because look at it this way: I hit both hits, I get a full combo off of that. You know what I'm saying? I get into whatever, right? So sometimes what you want to do with your offense is you want to do, just do different things like that, and then. So let's say you do jab, strong, and then into back heavy kick. Jab, strong. Oops. Can't do it too quickly because obviously it's not... back heavy kick is 7 frames, so it's not like a fast move. You can't frame trap with it or anything crazy like that. But let's say jab, strong, wait. And then, yeah, you see what I mean? Get the back heavy kick to punish the... Oh, I think I hit him during the startup of the jab. Okay, so, jab, strong. Didn't get it there. But you get the idea. So sometimes what I'll do, or what you can do, is let's say, okay, so you're in the neutral, crouch medium kick. Wait, you're playing your footsie game. Crouch medium kick, jab, nothing. Oh no, sorry, strong as in medium punch. Strong, and what's good with back heavy kick is it's kind of like it doesn't have the best range. It's not got stand heavy punch range, which we'll focus on that in a minute. But there's a lot you can do with back heavy kick where. Just like Fierce, which has much more range and can go to a variety of things, as a standing heavy punch. That is a heavy punch. Obviously, Juri's a lot of Juri's normals, despite being a lot of the vast majority. Okay, so her jab, her stand light punch, and her medium punch are both actual punches, but her standing heavy punch is actually a kick because Taekwondo. That's why. So let's say you know the dreaded shimmy. A shimmy might be, let's say, medium punch, throw as normal, or medium punch back off, and then you do that back heavy kick. So let's say people think, so medium punch, they think you're going to throw, then you just do back heavy kick instead, because the people are looking for the throw. Beware that you can be thrown out of the back heavy kick because it's 7 frame startup and obviously throws are 5, so you don't want to be in a situation where you do, oh, and then you go to do back heavy kick and get messed up. But back heavy kick is really strong. It's confirmable into a variety of things. It goes into knockdown, you know, EX uppercut, like basically whatever you wanted to do. It's one of her strongest moves. That was medium punch, DP. There we go. So back heavy kick is very strong. It's not got, like I said, the heel hits really far. The first hit doesn't. The first hit hits about there, but the heel hits really far back. So you can do shenanigans like that where you hit him with, you know what I mean? Oh, so let's say like you're like, oh, am I out of range? Just kidding. You know what I mean? But to be fair, that's a confirm that you have to be looking for. Like you have to commit to that. Sometimes I will do the EX because I'm committing to the EX, so the EX hits. And if the EX hits, you're safe. See what I'm saying? So you did the jab, so I'm fine. So in general, medium kick, low poke, right? You want to confirm, you want to whiff punish with that. That can be used as both a footsie tool, a punish, or a setup. And what's cool is you can do, oh, actually whiff that. Yeah, so you can do into that. So if I can, I'm actually whiffing it. I may have to make him stop for a second because what's happening right now is I'm trying to show, okay, let me make him guard all. So yeah, like that. So back heavy kick into the Fuwa store is completely safe, so nothing to worry about there. You can also cancel on the first hit if you want. There's no real advantage to canceling it on the first hit. Like, it doesn't give you anything, it doesn't make any difference, because both... Yeah, so both, you know, both of them are about the same. You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't do anything different, it's just if you want to do both hits or not. And similarly, you can actually cancel both hits into your special, as I showed you before. Obviously, you can do into that, into EX, whatever you want. Now, Fierce, this is one of her best buttons. It hits really far, like that, see? I wouldn't say crouch, like standing medium kick range. Standing medium kick range is incredible. It's not quite that range, see what I mean? It's about there. Like, you see sort of like the tip of her shoe, it's about there. It's about there, and you can do into a variety of things. So you can do it into that, into that, into that. It goes into so many things, and her Fierce button is, it's a lot of things. It's a pressure tool, but keep in mind, it's -3. So it's not a close range tool. You want to be doing it at that kind of range. So, for example, do it at that range, they go to jab, you crouch medium kick into something, or, right, you see how that's applied as a whiff punish. So, let's say in neutral, depending on what the character is, remember this is Ryu, in neutral, you do Fierce, they go to jab it, and then, oh, was he able to block? Wow. It's far. With the medium kick, no one. So, Fierce, right, and you can do something like that. But considering you'd have to be a god to be confirming that all the time, let's think about safe options. So you do Fierce, medium kick low, right? Right? You want to do this, so keep your ranges in mind. You want to do this only as a counter poke. Don't be going around doing Fierce, medium kick like it's a real thing. It's not. Do Fierce, and just wait. If anything, what's good about Fierce is it can actually be used, and I keep saying Fierce, heavy punch, sorry. It's the old Street Fighter player in me saying that. What's good about heavy punch, or hard punch according to this game, is that because it has a ton of hits on it, it can be done into a variety of things. So while it's not necessarily confirmable as such, it's one of her quote-unquote shimmy tools. It's a punisher, it does a lot of different things. And it hits for 80 damage, so it's very good. So let's say, you know, you're doing your thing, you're doing... well, let's see if I can make him press jab. Right, so let's say you want to do... right, exactly like that. You do jab, strong, you know, light punch, medium punch, light punch, medium punch, and then wait, fierce, right? Like that. Obviously, the timing isn't quite there. That's why you're seeing that. So let's do the shimmy scenario. A typical quote unquote shimmy scenario, i.e., grab bait scenario, is let's say you do your medium punch on block or on hit. Either's fine because your medium punch is +2, so they'll have to guess, and you throw. So let's say you make them scared of that. You know, you're in their face. You're doing medium kick. You're harassing their feet. Stand medium punch. You walk up throw. Right. Stand medium punch. Aha. So that was too far, but you get the idea. So stand medium punch, you walk up throw. It's not really walk up throw, it's more like forward throw. It's not like you're walking that far. But like that. People say Juri's grab range is deceptive. It's really not. Like, she's not grabbing you from there. You see what I mean? Like, she's not grabbing you from there. She's grabbing you from here, which is still pretty far, but you know what I'm saying. So that's your typical kind of walk up grab mix up. So medium punch. But oh, forwarded my own game. But let's say you do medium punch, and throw coming. No, it's not. And then I wonder why he's auto blocking that. That's really interesting. So medium punch. Yeah. I know why. It's because the auto block is working for. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's active for a very long time. So let's turn it off for a second. Assuming your opponent's not guarding because they're trying to throw tech, obviously. Yeah, like that. So it would be like, you know, medium punch, walk back fierce into whatever you want. So medium punch, too far, medium punch. It's kind of, you have to kind of mess with the ranges to be sure. Certain characters will get hit there, certain characters won't. So let's do medium punch. It's not really a shimmy as such, but you know, medium punch. Aha, there you go. That's the range you want. You see how far it hit him. So fierce does a lot of things. It really is kind of, it's her punish button. You want to punish with it. You want to confirm combos into it. You can do that, but I wouldn't advise. I'd say it's a lot stronger to do crouch medium kick into it, because crouch medium kick, it has the range. It's hit confirmable. There's a lot of things you can do with that. And the fierce is really more for pressure, punishes, you know, shimmy, all that kind of thing. So that's just Juri's buttons on their own. Like, we haven't even gotten to all the other stuff. Like, I'm trying to make sure this is succinct because I don't want this video to last forever, trust me. But, yeah, that's basically just how Juri's buttons work in general. You know, it's all about long range, safe, but not plus pokes, which lead into her different specials and do different things. And how you want to implement that's up to you. So, general game plan with Juri is interesting in the sense that, like, you can play as offensive as you want, as defensive as you want, and it all really works, because you can just sit back all match, charge it, throw it, charge it, throw it, charge it, throw it, and then they jump, you DP them. You can play a basic Street Fighter with her. You know what I'm saying? A basic creating space, low poking, pressuring, uppercutting. You can just do that the whole game if you really want to. Right? There's no reason not to do that. But you can be offensive. The difference is Juri doesn't have plus buttons, so being offensive isn't quite the same thing. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of her game plan doesn't revolve around having oppressive buttons like, say, a Nikali or a Karen. It's really more about being able to trick them and catch them off guard. So what's good about her medium punch, medium kick chain is that it's a natural combo. Right, so you can combo that naturally. Right, that's a natural combo. And oh, the stun's on. Why stun on? My goodness. And you can do that. You can confirm into whatever. Right? You see what I'm saying? So medium punch, medium kick. Too slow. Medium punch, medium kick. Wow, why is that so slow? There we go. Medium punch, medium kick into literally whatever you want. So that is a natural combo. You can play her offensive if you want, but a lot of Juri's offense, it depends. You have to be very confident with doing cancels like that, with doing her pressure strings. For example, a typical pressure string, you see me doing that because it's good. It's a good safe pressure string. This used to be very viable. Not as much anymore. The standing medium punch, crouching medium punch, it's good, but it really depends. I think the reason why it's not as viable, you see what I mean? She gets jabbed out of it. Whereas the medium kick, she goes like further. She kind of reels back, so it's much easier to confirm. But a lot of Juri's offense is really dependent on what you want to do with the character. If you want to be one of those people who, for example, you create space with that, and then you try to shimmy, right? You try to shimmy with, he's doing guard all again. You try to shimmy with it, and then you do, you see what I'm saying? Like you do that, right? And you do fierce into her MK Fua, which leads into combos, you know, crouch medium punch into MK Ryodan for the knockdown and so on. So you can kind of create scenarios like that if you really want to, and just be very offensive. And the thing is, Juri's combo damage is actually solid. It, without stores, it's a bit tricky. So let's say a typical jump in, which starts with jump heavy kick, ends in a variety of ways. Let's say you're completely committed, so you do target combo. That's DP ender. Let's say you want to confirm, so you do into knockdown ender. So the damage is okay. Obviously the DP ender has slightly more damage. That's only if you're fully committed to doing target combo. But that really depends. But there's not too much where to go if you don't have her stores, because remember, her stores is what keeps things safe. So let's say I mistime that jump in, right? Or I mistime the combo. I do that to keep it going, and then, oh look, he got hit by the fireball, maybe to walk up and do my shenanigans, so let's try that again. And then you can do, you can set up different ranges for different offense, for fierce, for crouch medium kick, and so on. So her offense is really more about, do you want to use her tools to force people to make mistakes that can be in their face? You can low jab them, you can low poke them, and so on. Or do you want to be more of a runaway? Because a lot of what Juris do is they will back up, you'll see this a lot, right? To charge her stores. Because for some players, or some Juri players, I think I tripped over my words, for some Juri players, her gameplay revolves around using her stores, because without them, they think she's useless. Like, the whole point is to get this, you get the fireball, you get access to a combo extender, you get access to a combo ender, right? Which is her heavy kick, Fua. For some players, the Fua augment her playstyle, but her playstyle can be won without it, because you can win entire matches just doing this. You can just do that, right? You can just have strong confirms, strong anti-airs, and just kill entire characters, and maybe only charge light Fua maybe once or twice. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to use that, for your combos or for whatever, but for the most part, you don't need them. One thing that's good to do is to do that on block, but that depends on if you want to give up your turn as such. Because look at it this way. Right, that's -2. You can't do anything after that. You'll be jabbed. Unless you want to go for the quote-unquote Juri cheese, which is, it's you've probably seen it before. If I can get it right. Yeah, where you do EXDP through their button. There's really not much else you can do if you do the charge. Because doing the charge on block, or on the opponent, the idea is to force them... Oh, excuse me. The idea is to hopefully catch him with the up kick, and with the up kick you're able to get the EX or get another store real quick and you'll be safe. But that really depends on what you want. Do you want to do that and potentially have him block it so you give up a turn? Or do you want to be over here and charge it for free but be at the mercy of what your opponent does at range? Answer, it's up to you. If you want to be a defensive Juri, you can stay back here and charge your store and then go in and use it. Or you can be in their face and use her variety of safe buttons, including medium punch, or, well, I should say not safe buttons, but comboable buttons. Like medium punch into it, medium kick also goes into it, fierce goes into it, and back heavy kick goes into it. You can use any of those to charge your Fuha store, and you can get a combo afterwards, or you just stay back and do it. It really depends on what you want to do, because if you're playing this kind of Juri, you're staying back, you're throwing your fireball, you're waiting for them to jump, right? Or you're doing that, which is her target combo in the air. So let me get Ryu to jump for a second. So, you're playing your game, you're doing your fireball, you throw your fireball, oh, they jumped. Oh, I just did something new and exciting, You did your fireball and they jumped, right? and then you do jump, medium kick, heavy kick, which is your target combo, or you know, you got them to jump and you do stand heavy punch, which is her common standing anti-air. You DP them, of course, with forward, down, forward, medium punch, or heavy punch, which basically it really depends. If the opponent is right above you, like a deep jump in, then you want medium punch because it kind of goes straight up. Whereas if they're jumping at an angle and they're already in the air, you can do heavy punch because heavy punch DP has a forward trajectory. It's actually a worse anti-air because it's not fully air invincible. It's only fully air invincible from the 3rd frame, so it's not the kind of thing you can do late. Whereas medium punch is fully invincible for all 6 of its startup frames, so that's something to keep in mind. So in general, if you want to be offensive, then you're going to have to make sure you have all your frame traps and all that kind of thing tight. You have to have, you know, your strings, your setups, know the ranges for your buttons and that kind of thing. Or you want to stay in the back and charge stuff, throw your fireball, wait for him to jump, anti-air him, and also nearly forgot. Now added in, obviously, AE, is that's a better anti-air. That hits much better now than it used to. Not quite hitting there. I'd say what's good about Crouch Heavy Punch is it's best for, I'd say, deep jump-ins because on counter hit you can get this the crush counter, right? Which is good. Not the best damage, but there's a variety of things you can do. So a typical crush counter conversion would be something like this. Not like that because it didn't hit. And then just do target combo for the knockdown, or just heavy DP. That I don't think they hit quite right. Hold on. There you go. So the best damage you can get if you're willing to look for it is crush counter, back heavy kick, and uppercut. So 200 plus. That's only if you're looking for it, but most of the time you probably want to just do that because that's the easiest thing to do. That's the easiest thing to react to because you might not always get it. Or if you have EX, slightly more damage if you want it, but it really depends. I mean, there's all these other combos and crazy setups you can do, but the idea is that if you see them jump at you, you can basically do, depending on what range it is, you do either, if they're right above you, medium DP, right? If they are doing like a forward jump, you do heavy DP, catches them at an angle. If they're jumping at you very deep, and you don't feel you're quite ready for medium DP, and you're willing to commit to it and maybe eat the trade, then do that, and then just jump medium punch, heavy kick for the knockdown. It really is up to you. So with Juri's general game plan, it revolves around her buttons, her specials, and her anti-air. So she is kind of, in a weird way, a very, ironically, Ryu-ish type character. She's a lot more kind of a basic Street Fighter character than she appears. She just has all these wacky, crazy combos and gets to do all these cool confirms and stuff. So I'd say that if you want to play an offensive Juri, just keep in mind her spacing for all that kind of thing, and make sure you have your combos down. Make sure you can always hit that and that kind of thing. Because remember, what's great about Juri as a character compared to most characters is your playstyle actually matters. She's one of the few characters in SF5, you know, haha, Rise Up, where you can actually implement your own playstyle. Do you want to be defensive and just poke? You can do it. Do you want to go in and hit him with these cool combos and mix-ups and empty jump lows and all that crazy stuff? You can do that too. Do you want to do a bit of both? Maybe play a mid-range game and get confirms and use meaties and all that kind of thing? You can do that too. It really is up to you. Create space with the fireball. Confirm with the MK Fua. That was not confirmed. Confirm with the MK Fua. Right? And finish combos with the HK Fua. That kind of thing. That was not what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? So it really is dependent on what you want as a player. And what's cool is you can actually mix and match how you use her stuff. So it's not always like that has to be your whiff punish or that has to be your whiff punish. Like that can be a whiff punish too because it actually has a decent range. Not the best range. Sometimes only the first hit hits. LP to centering can be a whiff punish. So if you see someone whiff punish something at about that range, you can do that and it whiff punishes them. It actually has pretty good whiff recovery. So you can actually do shenanigans like do that whiff and then go for a sweep. Do that. That was too far. Not there? Nope. the idea is to make it not hit. There you go. So like do that. And try to make sure it doesn't hit, but I can still hit fierce. Ah, it doesn't quite hit from there. I don't know. So about there, I'd say, yeah. So I'd say about that range-ish is where you want to be with the LP10 Senran. So you can do a lot with it. And her flips aren't necessarily the best whiff punishes. Like, that's fairly fast. I'd say you could use that as a whiff punish. But the problem with that is it's -6 on block. It's not really the kind of thing you want to be using as a whiff punish per se, because it really doesn't get the job done as much as you'd like to. There's much safer options than doing that, because look. Like, it's -6. It's not necessarily worth doing that. And mind you, all of her -6, including her heavy one. Oops, sorry, he's not guarding. So her heavy one is also -6. It's not really worth the effort to use as a whiff punish. I'm sure it'd be interesting to explore, but it's better to do that because they're standing. You know what I mean? Like, that is, like, it's very difficult to find the use for her light flip. Her medium flip obviously is using combos and that kind of thing, but doing her flips on their own or doing the light flip for as fast as light flip is, it's hard to find a good use for it, unfortunately. It's redundant. Ever since we could do crouch medium punch into medium flip, it used to be you could only do crouch medium punch into light flip, and then you had to do heavy punch into medium flip, and then you do crouch heavy punch into heavy flip. It used to be that it was very rigid and strict, but now you can do medium punch into medium flip, so it works out fine. You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. And her heavy flip, by the way, it's a very strong move, 100 damage. So what I like with it, and mind you, sort of break sequence here for a second. I always tell people this. It's interesting because they made the damage. Remember, MK Fua Renkaku, MK Fua, that's 70 damage now. It used to be 60. See, tell me if you've seen this before. Oops, not that. That. Why do I suck? Okay. Okay, I'm terrible. I'm sorry. Whoa. Where's my medium? Am I crazy? Like, you see the medium punch input. What's going on? There we go. So you've seen this combo probably a billion times. I don't know why it took me a year to do it. So you've seen that combo like a billion times, right? You know? Like that combo people do on stun. Where they do that, you know, either as in they get a stun, they do that super combo. Pointless. Watch this. You see that? you see how it does the exact same? It used to be that was better damage. Back when MK Fua was 60 damage, that combo would actually do like 462 or 460, whereas the one I just did would do 482. Now they do roughly the same damage. Well, not roughly the same. They do the exact same damage. So look at it this way. If your opponent's stunned, right, let me put the stun on. Stun the next attack. Right? What's the point of doing this? Right? Because they're stunned. We're not talking about in neutral, right? What's the point of doing that? Right? Okay, so they're stunned, right? Right? When you can just do that. Easy. There's no reason whatsoever. Was that medium kick started? Or it was? Hold on. I think I just saw something weird. Okay, let's do forward medium kick. The heck is going on? Okay, so that was forward medium kick starter. Right, 503. Interesting. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. So, I think we just discovered something. Why does that do more damage after stun? That's very interesting. Because the damage, the raw damage is less. See, look, that does 503. However, that does less. Fascinating. Okay, so does this actually answer why people do that combo? But why does that do more damage on stun? Because this is just the raw damage. Yeah, 482, see? Wouldn't a combo after stun do less damage if you do more hits? Very interesting. Okay, so as it turns out, doing that combo after stun does more, not less. Isn't that something? Well, you learned something on stream. Something I had thought about this whole time, as it turns out. Does more damage after stun, but why though? That's the real question. Someone smarter than me can probably answer that. I don't know. If there are people in the stream chat, they'd probably let me know and probably tell me I'm an idiot for not knowing it sooner. Point is, yeah, if you want this much easier damage, I don't know why it does less damage after stun though. That's really strange. It does the exact same combo damage, but after stun it does less. That's weird, right? Or am I missing something? Let's look again. So, stun on next attack, right? So let's try that again. .503, okay. So that does 503. But this only does 481. It does even less damage than it does normally. But why? That's really interesting. That's really strange. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to look into that more. But point is, oops, just on so long. Point is that a lot of Juri's general game plan revolves around using her buttons effectively to try and set up the opponent to hit them with something that ends in either a knockdown, right, like that, or a soft knockdown and leaves them in the corner and so on. That's Juri's general game plan. That's basically what you want to be doing with her. Right, her jumping attack, jumping heavy kick is good for jumping forward. Jumping heavy punch is good too, but the way jumping heavy punch works is it hits higher. So you see how that hits, like it has a downward angle and can hit very deep. Okay, that was way too late. You see how that hits kind of like, if I space this correctly, I can hit this probably like his chest. Nope, not there. There you go. See, like, that hits very deep, whereas this hits more in the head. So it really depends on how you want to use it. One thing I will say is I'll show you if guard all. With her jumping attacks, if you use her jump heavy kick, I crossed up, it hits high. It can hit high if you do it very early, but it can hit very deep too. Obviously you're safe. It's not like it's unsafe. It has a lot of block stun, so you're fine. So that hits very deep, whereas that hits much higher. But because of its startup, you can't really do it late, like jump heavy kick. You see what I'm saying? Like, you see how it has to hit high or it doesn't. It really depends on what you want to do with it. Like, both her buttons are fine. They both confirm into combos just fine. So it's not like you can. It's not like one of them works better than the other. See, that works fine, and so does. Like, they both work the exact same way. You're not losing anything if you do heavy punch instead of heavy kick. What I used to do is I used to use heavy punch as my jump in, but because it hits high, sorry, as in it hits higher than heavy kick, it sometimes you'd miss certain confirms depending on your spacing, whereas that hits deeper, so chances are you'll get a better combo. I used to use that as my jumping forward move, and I use jumping heavy kick as my neutral jump move. It really doesn't matter what you use. You can use both, but if I could recommend one, I'd use heavy kick instead, because it catches character jumping forward, and it doesn't knock down or anything, but it does catch character jumping forward. So like that, you see what I mean? Because it has that downward arc. What's good about heavy punch is it hits high in the air too. So I wouldn't say it has better range than heavy kick. In fact, the range is roughly the same. It's more that you can do stuff like that where you hit them really far, because that hits downward, so you're gonna hit them at a weird angle. But if you want to hit them at the peak of their jump, heavy kick's really good. You can also do heavy punch is really good. Sorry. You can also do it as a back jump, and it works the same way. And this actually works for, like, you know, Vega, Barcelona drop, or whatever it's called, where they dive at you, so you can do back heavy punch, and you hit them like that. And obviously, she's clearly doing a kick, but it's heavy punch. It's Juri. Both her standing heavy punch and her jumping heavy punch are kicks, despite the fact they're called punch. That's just how she works. So, in summary, you want to use her buttons to augment your own playstyle, right? You want to be able to use her buttons at range to confirm into different things, right? And you use them to augment your own playstyle, whether you want to be offensive, right, or defensive. So about this range. So offensive is this range, you're very close, right? You're looking for that. You're looking for frame traps, right? Or you want to be at this range, right, poking, throwing your fireball, right, and looking for jumps and going for the anti-air as such. Right, you see what I'm saying? So, medium kick, long range poke, crouch medium kick, low long range poke, medium punch, decent range poke, but good for confirms. Into that was, whoa, that was very late, there we go. Into knockdowns and so on, into fireballs and that kind of thing. So remember, this oh, I was supposed to say video, what is a video? It's a stream. This stream is focusing purely on just just playing her neutral game. This isn't like combos and punishes and all that kind of stuff. I've made like 1 billion videos about this stuff, and you guys can watch that on my channel, youtube.com/c/JusticeSoulTuna, or just type Justice Soul Tuna in YouTube. You'll find me. I have all these Juri tutorials from Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3 AE, so you can watch all that. But I wanted this stream to focus purely on what do I press with Juri? What do I do as a general game plan? Like how do I play as her? Well, it really depends on what you want to do. If you want to be pokey, then these are the buttons to do them with. You need punch, crouch from the kick. If you want a space, you want the fireball. You want to charge it, throw it from that range, get them to jump, anti-air them, right? If you want to use combos, you have different combo routes. Back heavy hit goes into quite a few things. Target combo goes into a few things. You can charge, do stuff like that. You've probably seen this before where they do target combo, charge, spin. I'm doing it too slow. There you go, like that. Target combo. Oh yeah, I was about to... I forgot, they changed it so you can't cancel it on block. In Season 1 and 2, target combo was cancelable on block, but it didn't hit high. But in AE, it hits low, as it hits crouching characters, because it didn't used to hit crouching characters. But now that it hits crouching characters, you can't cancel it on block. It used to be that if you whiffed it, you were basically screwed because it hits high, and people could punish you from crouching. But if they blocked it high, you could cancel it into fireball. But now you can't do that, so you have to commit. So you can do that into her spin and so on. So she's got all these different options, and it really just does depend on how you want to play her as a character. Because she's got the combos, right? And I really want to find out why that combo into super does more after stun. That's so fascinating. Does that mean that a combo after stun does more damage for more buttons you press? Or is this just another training mode, like glitch type thing? Because, yeah, that does the exact same damage, yet for some strange reason after stun it does less. Isn't that interesting? Or could it be... No, but then no, that doesn't make any sense. I was going to say, could it be that a stun damage value is calculated based on how many hits you're doing in addition to the stun? But if that were the case, wouldn't they do the same? Why is, as that is to say, does that combo do more damage because I'm doing more hits? But if that's the case, shouldn't it do less damage? No, sorry. I need to reorganize this. Basically, if the combo with the MK Fuwa does more damage, is that based on the amount of hits in the combo? Because there's more hits than obviously the flip, which is only 3 hits. But why is it that after stun, doing heavy flip into super, that does 481, that does 1 point less than it does normally, and doesn't do anywhere near 503? I don't know. That's a mystery. That's something to look up. I'm not sure what the reason behind that is, and to be honest, I don't really want to know. It's a strange thing. It's a very strange thing. But for the sake of science, let's test this out. So let's do this combo normally. Let's take off stun. So that's her corner combo, right? That's 390. Right, let's put stun on and see what happens. $396. So it's only slightly more damage. It's only like a few points more damage, so the scaling still exists. So why did it... You know what? Who cares? That's not what this video is about. That's not what the stream is about. Forget it. Like, that's a whole different thing to unpack. We can worry about that some other time. But anyway, to any person out there who has watched this, either on Twitch, which is no one because I can see the view count, which is a shame, but you know it's fine, I don't stream, and I certainly don't stream SF5, so I'm not too fussed about that. But to anyone who watches this on YouTube, I hope you found this useful. What we will do is, before I finish this off, because I was planning to talk about more, but I think that this has already been quite long. This has been at least an hour. I'm going to explain quite a few things. I'd rather keep it... I'd rather cut it close and finish this off rather than keep going. So the last thing I will explain is crush counters. So once again, we're not focusing on combos or meaties or any of that. We're just talking about general neutral game plan. When it comes to crush counters, Juri does not get to just have a free ride like most of the cast. Her crush counter is that and that. See, that crouch heavy punch, it's 10 frame startup and -5, so it's unsafe on block, and it's a long startup, and also it has no horizontal range. Not really. In fact, it actually has worse horizontal range in this game compared to Season 2. So you have to be very close for it to hit. Like, you're not whiff punishing anybody with that. You see what I'm saying? Like, this isn't... Crouch Heavy Punch is not... It's not a button you're just throwing out in neutral. You know what I'm saying? You're not going up to people and doing that and getting a free combo. That's not happening. Similarly, if you're doing that, unless you hit point blank, there's not much you get off of it. If you hit point blank, you can get whatever combo you want. Sorry about that. Right? If you hit point blank, you get whatever combo you want. But if you hit at range, if you dash up, you don't get full combos. You don't get, you see what I mean? You don't get a medium punch. You don't get a fierce. You don't get any of that. So if you're hitting at far range, you're not getting these crazy combos other characters get. At best, if you hit a crush counter, right, you have 3 options. Right? From range, I should mention. You have 3 options. Do an EX Fu and end the combo. Right? Or something like a flip. This does work. Timing's a bit tricky though. There you go. Do medium kick, Ryodan Satsu, and end the combo. Or do dash up jab. And from there you can do various things. So, into light spin. Into heavy uppercut. Into heavy spin. So that's basically all you can really do with that. So, it's okay, I'd say. It's really strong. But given that that is actually -4 at every range, let me show you. That's -4, so you will get jabbed. Obviously, at maximum range it's not so bad, but certain characters like Geef can jab her, so it's not a button you want to be throwing out. Like if we're talking about Juri and neutral, where you can avoid just spamming that. It seems tempting, because every other character does it, but Juri is not every other character. Her crouch fierce has not got the range and is not safe enough to be abusing on block. This is her DP punish. That's what this is. You're punishing uppercuts with this. You're not using this in neutral. You know what I'm saying? You're not walking up to people and doing that. That's not a thing that's happening. Right? You don't get anything off of that. And you're just putting yourself in danger. If you do that at range, at best, you get a jab. If you can even get the combo. Right? At best, you're getting that. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not 100% worth it. You really do get more from Juri by focusing on having a strong neutral game. And also, now that counter hits on, I can show you something like this. So medium punch doesn't go into crouching medium kick normally. However, on counter hit, it does. So when you see that yellow counter title, you can do combos like that. Not like that because I waited too long. What's going on? There we go. So you can do combos like that. Right? You see what I'm saying? Or you can do some crouch medium punch, which gives you the flip, which gives you the knockdown. So on counter hit, that's a whole different thing. So on counter hit, see how normally, let me take counter hit off. Normally, that's not a combo. But on counter hit, light kick into light punch, that's a combo. And stuns on because I forgot to turn it off. Right? So you get her up kick. Right? Or, if you're feeling, oh my goodness. If you're feeling brave, you can go into uppercut. And in fact, you can get target combo. Right? That's if you get the confirm. Right, but that's counter hit combos. Obviously, I'm not trying to veer into combo territory. I've made a video for counter hit combos in season 2. It's still relevant now because the combos are the same. So if you want to see anything about counter hit combos, you can find that's on my channel. Search Juri counter hit conversions. It's on my channel. That's another combo. That's another video, combo video, I guess, because it's a combo video you could look into. But that's not the focus of this. This is just about general game plan and neutral and that kind of thing. We're trying to focus on just how do I play Juri, what buttons do I press, that kind of thing. So with that in mind, we'll do in summary. What I was going to do is I'm going to turn on Ryu's CPU, and you know what? I'm feeling adventurous. Put him on 8, and we're just going to play some just mock fights where I will try to put into play what I've been explaining. So obviously, wow, he's already going nuts. So let's say I want to play the long range Juri. So I'm back here, right? I'm charging my specials, but notice how, because he has a fireball, he's actually harassing me. So now I've been pushed into the corner. What do I do? So this depends. Do I wait for a fireball and jump? Maybe. Oh, the anti-aired me. So now I have my fireballs, and now I want to start creating space. But he's creating space for me because he's Ryu. Okay, so I jumped in. That is -6. I did my punish video for it, I know. And then I back off. I get my fireball back. He's jumping a lot. Whoa. He already got his V trigger. The computer jumps a lot, it's kind of crazy. Then I want to go for knockdown, right? Back off, get the fireball again. So the fireball for me is creating space. If this wasn't Ryu, it'd be a bit different. So I am... Okay, oops, so I killed him because he was actually bothering me. But the point is, that's kind of what the defensive sort of Juri looks like. You're usually around here, charging your fireballs where it's safe, although Ryu is going nuts. So right, you see, then I jump in, and I back off again, and get my fireball back. Right, and you're playing about this range. Let's turn him down to, I think 8, he's kind of going nuts. Let's turn him down to 7 or 6. Actually, 6 is usually the sweet spot. So let's turn him down to 6. Hopefully he's less crazy. Okay, there you go. Alright, so whoop, here we go. So at this range, you want to be using your buttons to do low pokes. I'm going to be charging from this range. And normally, if you throw your fireball, the computer usually jumps. But he's not jumping here. Oh, he jumped there. I should mention that medium kick, Ryoda and Satsu, that actually goes over fireballs. Hopefully I can force him to throw another one so I can demonstrate. Too slow. Okay, like that. So medium kick goes over fireballs like that. So you can do that kind of thing. So if you want to play the defensive Juri, you're usually at that range. You're looking to punish mistakes. You're basically staying out of their range at all times. You're not doing meaties. You're not doing any of that crazy stuff. You're just staying about there. You're charging your stuff. And you want the opponent to make the mistake, right? And then you just back off. You do medium kick, you back off. See? Boring, lame play. That's how you play defensive Juri. Okay, offensive Juri. Now, this is very different. See, you're actually about this range, more in danger. And you're more looking for combos, right? So you got your meaties, right? You're crossing up, you're going for confirms. That was not a confirm, I got mullered for it. Okay, so defensive Juri would back off, offensive Juri doesn't. Alright, I'm ready jumping in, see? Staying about here. V-trigger. Dead. Right, offensive Juri, much different. Notice how I didn't charge a single special there. I was in his face the entire time. I was just looking. Whoa, what the? Right, so I'm in his face. I'm using my buttons to harass him. Right, I'm keeping things safe. I'm staying about in a range that's uncomfortable for him, but it's good for me. So that was a safe charge. I charged medium kick because what I want to do with the medium kick is if I get the cross up, I get a combo. Right, so safe string right there. Okay, whoa, that was a weird cross up. Nice. Nice punish. So in this range, I can start going for different buttons. Whoa, okay, computer. Alright, so that was a buffer, not a confirm. Nice crosscut DP. Completely unnecessary combo, but the point is... Okay, so you see that. That was just all offense. No running away, no running, backwards to charge stores or any of that. That was all offense, right? And because the thing is, if you try to stay in their face and do that, you see how I'm trying to... Okay, let me just charge in his face and look. A bad Juri, like, will stay in their face and just, like, do this stuff. Like, they'll just charge stuff in the opponent's face at this range where it's unsafe. Basically, you can't have it both ways. If you want to be defensive, stay at the defensive range and force them to make mistakes. If you want to be offensive, know when to go in and get your confirms and get your combos and so on. And that's how it works. Okay, so that's actually a safe string. Everything I did there, I'm completely safe. Now, I won't really talk too much about V-trigger combos or any of that, but I will show you something in a bit, which is, I think, quite good. So what I'll do is, after I just kill him there, so that string I'm doing, what's interesting is it's actually much easier in AE, but that string I'm doing is actually very important. So I'm going to turn V-trigger back on to maximum for myself, and I'm going to show you something. So so check this out. Actually, I should show you first. So without V-trigger, that's a natural combo, right? Let me turn off counter hit. That's a natural combo, right? So you can do into... let me give myself critical gauge back. So you can do medium punch, medium kick into whatever, right? Now, the strength of Juri's V-trigger, as we all know, is being able to combo things that aren't normally comboable, like, like you can combo buttons into each other which don't normally combo. But what works really well in V-trigger is her medium kick at max range now becomes a comboable button, which it isn't normally. So you can actually cancel her far medium kick into a move. Because out of V-trigger, you can't do this. For example, you can't do into Fua. You can't do that. If you want to do into Fua, you have to do the first hit. But in V-trigger, you can do it on the second hit. So you get combos like this. Oops, I keep forgetting I'm resetting. So you can get combos like this on the second hit. What that means is in V-trigger, you can do the full chain. So you can do and get that. But with the addition of Juri's ability to cancel into other moves, you get extended combos like this. You see what I'm saying? And that's really solid damage. So that jump in you might have seen me do earlier, you can do into EX. That's really solid damage. And I've only taken a fraction of her gauge. So that's not a crazy confirm. I'm not doing, what's his name? I'm not doing those complex combos you see. I'm not doing, I'm not doing that, right? Which used to be like my bread and butter in the first, sorry, or that. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Like that's like a hard confirm. We're talking about in neutral. I'm about this range, right? And I'm fine. And the best part is, it is safe. So let's put them into guard all, right? I said, whoa. Is it guard? Is he getting? Whoa! Is he getting? I think he's Oh no, I know why. It's because of guard recovery action. I should probably turn that off. That's probably why he's getting hit by this. So, and I'm safe. See? So I can do that full chain, and I'm completely safe. So if I get the hit, I can confirm. And what's good is, let's turn that recovery back on. If I frame trap them, I just do the heavy kick into whatever. You see what I'm saying? And boy, that was V-skill. Right, and then I get the combo at the end. So that's something to keep in mind. But obviously V-trigger, like, we could do an entire stream on V-trigger, and maybe I will. One of these days I might just do a stream just talking purely about V-trigger, because trust me, V-trigger on its own, that's a whole thing. So that's something to keep in mind. You can do all of that. That's if you really want to, but that's up to you, obviously. So yeah, that is a really strong confirm. You can do that, but that's if you want to. So that's a combo. That's a V-trigger thing. You don't really have to worry too much about that kind of thing, because that's combo territory. So let's go back to practicing, and I'll keep showing you sort of how it works. Now, I've shown you two types. I've shown you the defensive Juri, the one who stays back there, and the Juri who goes in and jumps a lot and does all these combos. Now, how do I play Juri? Someone once asked me, like, show me how you play Juri. The way I play Juri is actually very buttons based. I don't actually charge much. Like, if anything, I actually charge on blocks. So you'll see, let me start from the beginning. So I usually look for meaties, and I look for confirms, but I don't charge much. So here I won't charge, but I'll walk up and I'll do that as my meaty. So now I have fireball. But I won't risk just throwing it out, because I actually want to save that for this. To make my heavy kick safe, my heavy punch safe, sorry. So then I'm about this range. Oops, how did I mess that up? I don't know how I messed that up. Done. Alright. So how I play is very mid-range, but not really charging much, not really going too crazy. I really rely more on Juri's buttons to get the job done than I do on her specials. I am jumping way too much. Okay, so I stay about here-ish. Oof. Okay. Then I just go for the knockdown there. So it's my style is somewhat offensive, a mix of offense and just like staying in the mid-range, but not necessarily defensive. It's kind of a mixed kind of thing. What was that? How did he DP me from there? It's crazy. Whoa. Then I look to get my V-trigger. Once I have V-trigger, I now have multiple options. And I just stay about this range, and then if they're in the corner, I either want them to jump or whatever. So my style is primarily based on Juri's just grounded buttons, and usually trying to catch them off guard with something. For example, I saw him whiff there, so I jumped in. Then I go for my meaty, then I back off, but I don't charge. That's the one thing I don't do. I don't just charge in neutral. You'd be very hard-pressed to see me charge. I normally charge there because I want the combo, or very rarely I'll charge here. Very rarely, because that's normally me looking for certain things. I waited too long for that combo. That's normally me. Oh wow, see, that was actually a really good string. So normally I only charge at range if I see my opponent doing something. I don't always just charge from long range purely because it's something I want to do. Like, normally I only charge from range if I think my opponent will want to jump, or if I feel like I need it. So as a simple example is, I will often, if I'm fighting a Chun-Li or a Karen at about this range, I will charge the heavy kick fool. Oh wow, nice punish. Right, so like right there, that was a chain. that I did to just get the medium kick one, so I could get that combo. Right, then I'll throw that and use it as a pressure tool. But I won't back off to charge it again, because for me, it's not about getting the fireball, it's about using the fireball to set up my next thing. Ouch. Alright, so V trigger up. Too far to get the proper chain, which is fine. Dead. So for me, it's more about, and let me pause it for a second so I can actually explain. For me, it's more about using Juri's buttons in the mid-range to get pokes, to set up my next bit of offense, and to get the knockdown and a combo, a shimmy, that kind of thing. My style of Juri is about using her tool set to augment my own playstyle. Because some people want Juri to be a bit more like SF4, where she charges her fireballs and uses that for combos and uses that for knockdown. So it revolves all around just charging. And some people use her tools to be in their face and use that to set the opponent up. I'm kind of, I'd say I'm in between, but also neither, in the sense that I'm not looking just to get full restores, but I'm not also looking to constantly be my opponent's face. I'm looking to be close enough that I can hit them, but not so close that they can press buttons all the time. So I'm looking to poke them, I'm looking to counter poke, to punish, and to set up my next bit of offense, because my playstyle is shining through the character, not so much me just trying to, excuse me, sorry about that, to purely play the character in a certain way. But honestly, that's the beauty of Juri as a character. You can honestly play her however you want. You don't have to play her in just one way. And I think that's a really cool thing. So I will do a bit more versus CPU, and I think what I'll do, I'll close the stream out pretty much how I began. That was, I don't know what I was planning there, but it clearly didn't work. And just as a way to show you my general game style. Whoa, how did I not get that? That was weird, I don't know what happened there. Oh no. Throws, game, oh dear. So I'm staying in this range basically, and I jump here because I want to knock him down, and then fierce fireball. So I don't overextend. See what I mean? Like, obviously this is a computer, so keep that in mind, but my playstyle is really revolving around just staying at a certain range where I can get pokes, but I'm not constantly in their face as such, because I'm not really all about just pure offense, but I'm not all about just being very defensive either. Actually catch the sun. Okay, so I'm gonna get a combo off this. Actually got the full thing, nice. Get the meaty afterwards. So I want to bait him to jump. I haven't bait him to jump in a while. So now I'm actually going to stay here because I've got the health lead. So there's no reason for me to go in. And I'm just going to stay here and be lame. And if he does anything stupid, I can hopefully punish it. But he hasn't been jumping at all because, well... There we go. And finally I catch the thing. Anyway, obviously keep in mind, this is the CPU. I'm just using this as an example of how I play. How your opponent plays and how you counter that. That's a whole different topic. What a DP. But... Whoa, how did I miss that? That keeps happening. But yeah, so how you play and how the opponent plays are two different things. It just backdashed my grab. So it's not so much about what an easy solution to beat everyone is. How you want to play Juri is really up to you, but those are basically the ideas, and just keep in mind how her buttons work and use that to augment your playstyle. So anyway, I've paddled along long enough. What I'm going to do now is, just for a little while, maybe 5 matches, no longer than that, because this is now like an hour and 30 minutes long. Wow, apparently it's like 2 hours long. Oh no, because I was playing versus CPU earlier. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to do some versus CPU. I'm not going to fight online. Obviously online would be the best case of that, but I'm trying to do a tutorial here, so it would be tricky. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you play, Street Fighter 5, especially Street Fighter 5 online, is a whole different beast. So you can have your game plan, you can have your play style, how your opponent actually plays. Yeah, that's a whole different story. So okay, living dangerously. Let's play. Okay, CPU Meek is probably not the best example. Let's have a CPU character. That's okay. Ibuki. That's fine. The CPU character that's kind of a good way to showcase general game plan for Juri. But your general game plan with Juri is pretty much just using her buttons either to play defensively, offensively, poke from long range, catch confirms, and that kind of thing. You're not constantly in your opponent's face. You do not have plus buttons, and you don't have the best defensive capabilities either. You only have the one fireball. It's just being very solid in general. That's basically the idea. So now that we're playing this, I can actually focus on playing. So I'm going to try and use everything I've shown you. Well, this is going exactly how I thought it would, to be honest with you. Okay. So is this the Juri Vortex? Not exactly. See, I'm going to stay at this range. Oh, I was about to say I want to get her to jump, but she's jumping at weird times. Plus this is like level 6 CPU, so it's not exactly the smartest. Oh, wow. Jab bomb setup? That was almost real. Okay, alright, so that medium kick is basically free. 5 frames, long range, like there's no reason not to use it. Like honestly, it'd be to your detriment not to use it. So I got my charge there, but I'm back to just playing neutral. I'm not backing off the run. That's safe, so I'm fine. Whoa, why did she get launched? That was crazy. And that chain is pretty free because do I get super? Yes, I do. Sick. So in that situation, I jumped in because I saw my super was almost there. I had the MK Fua. I don't know why I didn't get flipped there. That was interesting. Too far for a combo? Yeah, too far. Did you see the range of that? So yeah, in V trigger, obviously, as we all know, you can use the range of her buttons to catch that kind of thing. Yeah. Basic idea is to just demonstrate how to use her stuff. So we'll play a few more matches just as exhibition. But I mean, I hope you found this informative. I know obviously I've been kind of all over the place, but the idea with Juri is to just use her buttons however you want to implement either space or offense that relies not on being plus, but relies on catching your opponent off guard, just being solid in general. So you want to stay either far away to charge or close enough to punish, but not too close. See if I can get her to jump. It's really tricky with the CPU because like they really do have these weird timings. Oh, so that was an OS. Nice. Pretty solid combo actually, just for that confirm. No jump? Wow, she's still not jumping, she's just charging. There we go, wow. She didn't jump once. She did not jump once, my goodness. I'm trying to get her to jump so I can anti-air. Just trying to show you an example of, I thought it was a confirm. Okay, so safe chain. I'm not sure why that didn't work, but, aha, so that's the classic. You do the chain and they try to jump. So I do the jump back heavy kick to set up some space. And from there, oops. So I tried to charge a neutral there. That's why that happened. Probably shouldn't have. Okay, I need to stop jumping. I think she whiff punished my heavy punch. Too far for a combo, yep. Safe. Charge medium punch to finish it off. So anyway, yeah, a lot of what I'm doing right now is really just I'm just kind of messing around, just showing how I normally play. You've seen, I mean, you go on my channel, you can see my matches against actual human players, and you'll generally see what I go for is roughly the same thing. But if you're struggling to figure out how to play with Juri, Like I said, just keep the best thing that honestly, don't just learn combos first. Don't just learn punishes first. I those are good to learn, but try to figure out what you want to do with the character. If you want to play Ken, people probably tell you do this, this, and that. You want to play Birdie, Rashid, people probably tell you do this, this, and that. Well, with Juri, it's not as simple as that. With Juri, you really can do whatever you want, but just keep in mind that whatever you want, you're not the best at that. There's characters who are better at the whatever you want than whatever it is that you want to do. You know what I mean? You want to be offensive, you can do it. You want to be defensive, you can. You just won't be the best at it. That's the thing to keep in mind. So that's the basic explanation of it. And so we'll do these next 3 matches and see how it goes. I got jabbed out. I could have got a better combo than that. So you see how this is all safe? Too far. Finally, she jumped. Yeesh. Okay, so yeah, keep it simple. Don't need to use any meter or anything like that. But finally, she jumps. So normally, as with all fireball characters, you charge a fireball. Obviously, people want to jump in, then you anti-air them. Your anti-air's got to be on point for that to work, though. Cannot believe she walked up and did sweep. I forgot what game I'm playing. Even the computer does the scummy stuff. Wow, I didn't even know what side I was going to be on. Oh no. That was definitely a situation for the anti-air. Is she going to jump? No, she's not. She jumped there. Okay, nope, she's got full meter. I'm going to back off because she might anti-air me. That was so tricky. And then I get another fireball. See, now I'm safe. So look, see, I had the advantage. Don't go in. Stay back, press medium kick, and then react. Right? There's no reason to go in. If you're playing defensive Juri, you run all the way to the back of the screen and you charge your stores. Offensive Juri, you're jumping, heavy kicking it, right? Or if you're playing mid-range like me, you stay there, firmly planted, and press medium kick. Right? It's really up to you. Ooh, that was actually a bad store, I think. So that cross-up I keep doing, that's actually a dash. Same side. Oh, here we go. See, I was going to anti-air that until I'm like, she's going to cross me up. There's no way. It's not the best round. Too far, wow. Oh my goodness, whoa. Air reset, okay. There you go. Remember that frame trap I told you about? There it is. There it is. Oh, walk up sweep. Okay, I was actually trying to mount that comeback just now. But man, just walk up sweep. Oof. You get the knockdown, dash up. Nothing. Same side. See, that was a tricky cross up. Oh, bad charge. I could have definitely got hit. What are you doing? Random sweeps in neutral. See, what I'm going to do there, instead of doing my normal meaty, I'm just going to back up. Jump, why don't you? Okay, well, she jumped, I guess. She always seems to be jumping when I don't want her to, but that's the computer for you. Woof. I actually tried to anti-air and it didn't work. Oof, didn't use a single meter. That was beautiful. I was looking at my meter, I'm like, I don't need to use that. I got V-trigger. That was a perfect combo. I'm happy with that. So, I mean, that's more of an advanced stuff. That's not something you need to worry about if you're just playing a general Juri neutral game. But that was more of a thing to do if you know that you have the meter to spare, but you don't want to use it. Because I want to save it for the next round, obviously. Meter management, that's not a Juri thing. That's just a character thing. You don't really need to... There's no pointers there for that. Grabbed her right over pressure. Cool. Whoa, whoa, it hit her so late. This might not work. Oh, she pressed the button landing. I was actually trying to anti-air the jump with the super. I wasn't actually trying to. I mean, if landing recovery were a bit different, maybe, but it's not exactly. It's not exactly. It doesn't work exactly like that. Point is, yeah, you get the idea. So, okay, so last match before I give my sort of closing statements and explanation, all that malarkey. So I used Jump Fierce there instead and worked just as well. Whoa. So now what I'm going to do is going to focus on counter poking with Crouch Medium Punch, which is actually very good. So while you can do a bit of both, I ate that jump in quite nicely. Oh, that's minus like 4, isn't it? Oh boy. So I'm going to stay here. Whoa, okay, computer's going nuts. Anti-air jab, remember what game this is? Alright, so that chain wasn't safe, but I made it safe with the fireball, so don't try that at home, kids. That was actually not the right idea. It's fine, it's fine. Whoa! Crouch strong anti-air, excuse me? See, you see how I stopped right in front of her, just to make sure she didn't do anything stupid. So that's another thing. Sometimes, just because you have offense, it doesn't mean you should just go in. Exactly, that was a lot of damage! Overhead. Oh, she didn't get up. Okay, alright, that's enough of that. Okay, look, whatever. The point is that you had a taste, an idea of what I do. Unfortunately, I can't give you a definitive answer as to how, what do you do with Juri to win? Do I press this, this, and that, and then I win? No, it's not that simple. Juri's game overall is really about being able to, and this is repeating myself for like the 15th time, augment your own playstyle that you use in every other fighting game, but with the addition of her buttons and her special moves. You use her Fua stores to, 1, create space, punish mistakes, confirm into combos. Use her buttons to poke from range and confirm into different things. She can confirm into combos from decent ranges. That's the idea behind Juri as a character in SF5. You're using her buttons to augment how you would normally play and make that work, whether that's defensive, offensive, or something in between. So I hope you found that useful. I wish I explained this slightly better, but I think as a first stream attempt, I thought this was pretty good. I'm going to export this to YouTube so people can see this and watch the whole thing, and the archive will be available on my channel, my Twitch channel as well. So thank you so much for watching, and yeah, that's about it. I'm going to stream something else maybe, and if not, I'm probably just going to chill. But thank you so much for watching, and that's it. JSD out.